lot of people have told me that they have seen my transformation, but I truly believe that it was simply me calling in the version of myself that I truly and deeply desired to be. Greetings. I am Toria Germain. I am a sensuality life coach, sensuality mentor, and boudoir photographer. And today we're going to talk about leveling up and becoming the greatest version of yourself that you can be. Let's go. Shortly after having my son, I realized I wanted to have something that I actually enjoy doing. Now, before having him, my husband retired me as an occupational therapist so that I could stay home with the children, which is what I desired to do. And after having him, I was like, I want to do something for myself and women. And I decided I wanted to be a boudoir photographer. I was going after a goal that I have had since I was about 8, maybe, to be a photographer and keen in niche down into boudoir photography because I realized a lot of women needed that time and space for themselves. They need time to focus on and celebrate themselves outside of their roles, right? And so that is what I decided to do. And one of the best ways that someone can do some deep shadow work and some transformation that I have experienced is one, getting married, having children, and having a business. And that has created some deep transformation for me because it allowed me to see myself and see how people perceive me, right? And so now we're just going to talk about the ways in which you can elevate and become your highest and best self. You might want to get a journal out too. So one of the ways that I began my journey was seeing the way in which I was showing up in the world. It would be things that I would tell my husband, and he would just look at me like, are you serious? Like, why would you say that? And it wasn't until I detached myself from me and saw it as a third person looking at the complete scenario that I was able to see, this is what is actually happening, and seeing the way in which I was interacting with the world as a woman. I was more leaning into my yang, or what a lot of people consider to be masculine energy, when interacting with everything and everyone. And once I healed my relationship with my feminine energy, my feminine aura, I was able to lean back. Leaning back has been the key when it comes to receiving as a feminine woman. This has decreased my need and want and desire to work hard. It has allowed me to become, rather than doing all the work, I just become a successful woman. I put myself in the place of a successful woman, a healthy woman, a woman who has her life together, rather than me saying, I'm getting my life together. Because I would often say this, even when I was getting married, I would say this, I think on my wedding day, and my father-in-law was like, no, you've got your life together. And I didn't understand it at that time, but I got it now. It is me having my life together and moving forth in that way. Now, a lot of times you'll hear business coaches saying, rather than carrying your business as a business person, you carry yourself as a successful business person, and that will change the game for you. So being able to lean out and see from a bird's eye view of how everything is working and going, that has allowed me to be more yin, be more relaxed, and more able to receive rather than grind and hustle. This has allowed me to relax a lot more and to decrease a lot of stress. Now, you know what they say about stress, it ages you. And if you are consistently aging, not only by years, but also by stress, you're also aging yourself and multiplying that. right? So instead of doing that, reeling it in and allowing yourself to age gracefully by giving yourself grace and love. One of the other things that I did do to elevate myself was to journal. And I would journal and ask myself questions. Now, if you have heard of The Artist Way, I absolutely love this book. And she has you journal and ask yourself questions, your younger self and your, higher self questions. That's one thing that I added in there, was to ask my higher self questions to get a better understanding of how I want to handle certain situations, and being able to see a different way to view whatever situation was going on differently and to come up with a better answer or circumstance helped me maneuver in a more graceful manner. Another way that I have allowed myself to elevate is to allow things not to bother me. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. If you have watched Everything Everywhere All at Once, I believe that's the name of the movie, at the end of the day, none of this matters. What does matter is how you perceive yourself and how you move around. The external doesn't matter as much. It is allowing that which you cannot control not to control you, to let it go and let it be, and to move through life in a way that lights you up, right? Because at the end of the day, we want to be happy. We want to be free. So that goes to my next point. Allowing your sensuality to guide you. A lot of people put sensuality in this box of it is only physical. But the truth of the matter is, if you look it up in the dictionary, it is what is pleasing to the senses: sight, smell, taste, sound, touch. And so when you are looking at it from that aspect, when you take away the physical, even though physical touch is one thing, it can literally be the way in which your clothes are touching you, right? It can be the way your home looks to you. It could be the feng shui of your living room. It could be the way that your house smells when you walk in, or the music that is playing, or the birds outside that you can hear. It could be your grandma's cooking, okay? It could be anything. But as long as you find it pleasing, and to literally stack those things, allow yourself to have more and more pleasurable experiences that light your fire within, that will lead you to being able to elevate above these worldly things. It says, do not become of this world. And literally, when we are able to see the world and see past what is actually happening into the good of what it is and what it could be, we are allowing ourselves to be led by our sensuality and to be led to elevating into who it is that we desire to be. And it's one of my favorite parts, to allow our sensuality to guide us into not only who we want to be, but even something as small as, what kind of breakfast do I want this morning? What am I feeling? What looks good in my mind's eye? And allowing that to be, even if you are going at it day by day, allowing that to be. All right, I love you.